Hi guys, this is Paul again from my YouTube art tutorial channel. Tonight, this is Monday evening, it's going out on Tuesday, so it'll be day 9 of the UK school closures. Tonight I'm going to attempt one of my favourite little cartoon, a character from one of my favourite little cartoons. My kids watch it quite a bit. It's called Webarebears, B-E-A-R, and I'm going to do Panda. Okay, so I'm going to do Panda there's one called Ice Bear, which is a polar bear, and the other one's called Grizzly, obviously a grizzly bear. So Panda is quite simple, straightforward Panda really. Just going to do a curve for his head here. Try and get, this is important now, try and get the curve the same both sides. So this kind of thing going on. Okay. Then simple arms. Gonna go down and round. This is quite a funny cartoon. If you ever get a chance to watch this, I quite like watching this cartoon. Some cartoons as an adult I don't like watching with your kids because they're not aimed at me, but this one's quite good. The humour's quite interesting. So we're going to go across here because I'm going to show you. Panda here is going to be sat in an inflatable donut. Okay, so what you want to do is try and get another curve going on here. Taking that a little bit high, so I'll just get a rubber for that. There. Okay, so there we go. And then we're going to do the donut. So I'm going to curve it around like this. It's going to curve this way. We're going to do the same on this side. It's going to be a little bit wider actually. We're going to go around like this. And it's going to go deep, and it's going to go across and round. Okay, now with a donut, an inflatable donut like you'd have if you went on holiday, maybe abroad, you might have an inflatable in the pool with you. This is an inflatable donut. There we go. And then his feet simply are going to be here, so we're going to do one foot like that, and then the other one coming in just level with this really, with his head. So we're going to draw this kind of shape. We're going to go up like that. We're just going to do his claws. There's two like that. Okay. Now, important here to get the ears looking right. So you want them for a panda about there. There's one ear, and then the other one, same again. Try and get the size similar. There we are. Now let's do the mouth. Okay, we've got his mouth open. It's like if you're going to draw a bean shape, like a jelly bean. So we're going to go round. It's going to curve like this. There we go. Now pink tongue. Come back to that later. And we want his nose, which we're going to do black like this. Okay, now we want one line here, and then we want another line here, but we're going to carry on with that this way. Okay, we're not carrying on with the line, the same on the other side. And then classic panda bear, almost a bean shape again here. I think they said beer then. It's Monday, I'm not drinking beer tonight. Not on a school night anyway. And then we're going to draw his eye like this. And we're then going to do another one, another eye. Draw it around like this. There we are. Get a curve in the top. Okay, you want to try and match the size of his eye here. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is our... do these light actually. We're going to colour those in pink and then we're going to rub that out. Probably done that a little bit too dark, so if we just rub now, we can then just colour this in. We can kind of see where the shape is without needing the pencil around the outside. Okay, so what I'd probably do now, fine liner, go around it all. You're going to keep this white, and we're going to go around all these lines. If we can, try and stay along on the line as best you can. Now, there's a little bit of a difficult section in this later on with the colouring, because what I thought was the panda would be black. Now, the problem is that if you did all this black, you get no way of bringing in his claws here, so his claws are here like this on his front paws, like this. Now, if you did that all black, you wouldn't see these. So, I haven't got a dark enough grey, so I'm going to do it slightly lighter grey, but you'd probably do a really dark grey in here if you can. And then there's going to be a section that's black in here. Okay, so I'm just going to go up and over this. I mean, I'm doing it a little bit quicker than you probably will do. You probably want to pause this and follow it through, because I'm conscious my hand keeps getting in the way. You probably just want to pause the video a little bit. There we go. So we go around this. Oh, see, it made a bit of a boo-boo there, but don't worry too much. You can have a bit of an inflatable problem in that corner. There we are. And we're going to go around here like this, all the way across. There we go. Do me a favour, guys, if you're watching this, if you could share these videos. We're trying to get them into as many parents and children's homes during the COVID-19 pandemic as we possibly can. So, because I think sometimes you've got schoolwork to do, or if you're at home working from home, sometimes you want a bit of downtime. Art, I've always found, is really good for kind of just relaxation and mental health and well-being. If you could share this with a few people, and maybe we could get some more subscribers, that'd be wonderful. I've had people in New Zealand and a couple in the USA. One guy in Texas sent me a message on YouTube a few days ago, so that's great that it's reaching so many people in different parts of the world. I'm also a teacher, so I've got quite a few of my students that I see having a go with these as well. So that is basically Panda from webarebears. So that's what he looks like. Now we're just going to go around here in a grey. This grey is the darkest grey I've got. It's probably a little bit light. It all depends on what coloured crayons you've got, really. You don't want to go over there in black, because the middle of his eye is black. I think pandas are he anyway. I keep saying he. Somebody might correct me on YouTube. But make sure you subscribe if you can, and see if you can get other people to get involved in the artwork. So we're just going to do a curve like this in grey up here. This is where the shading comes in now. And then a larger section of grey on this here, if you can. Again, my grey isn't dark enough. I'd want a little bit darker grey on this. You might be able to go for a pencil crayon, but you won't quite get the same effect. Sorry, a pencil, not a pencil crayon. You get a darker pencil, maybe a charcoal or something like that, that's grey. Again, with the charcoal, you just got to be careful you're not smudging. So when I'm colouring, I normally go this way, down the page from top left to bottom right, and I'm shading in. So what we're doing is as dark as we can, really, because this pencil crayon is not dark enough, so I'm going as dark as I possibly can on this. I'm going to go over the top of these black lines. That's fine. You could put the black claw marks where his claws are, you could put those in after if you wanted to, over the top of the grey. It doesn't really matter either way around. It's probably dead in this colour a little bit, that is actually, so I might go over that again in a little while. And then, as I keep saying in these videos, if you're learning to shade, try your best to go in one direction and keep blowing your paper to get rid of any of the excess that's coming off if you're pressing down quite hard. Try your best to stay inside the lines now. I've probably got a little bit too fine a pen here. I've got a fine line stabilo around the outside edge. If you've got a darker pencil crayon, you might want to, sorry, a thicker mark, you might want to have a go at that, just to make the lines a little bit thicker. In the cartoon, he has actually got some quite thick lines around his outside of his body. The cartoonist does use obviously digital version, but he uses a thicker line than the one I'm using. So there we go. The beauty of this panda is you don't need to colour in his face because it's white anyway. If you've got white cartridge paper like I have, if you've got a different coloured paper, you'd have to colour in this section here, but because it's white anyway, you can just leave it, which is great. Okay, so that'll do me for now. Try not to leave any white space if you can. And then we're going to go much darker underneath here. I'm going to go black in here, but I'm going to keep the black quite light. Okay, so don't press on too hard with the black. Okay, again, try and stay inside the lines if you can. You don't really want this mixing in with the grey so much. You want to see a line here. If you can help it. Just nice and light. Make sure you've got no white space though. Okay, there we go along here. All the way to the edge. You might see just underneath here, you might see a little bit of silvery white, which is where your pencil's showing through. So you just need to take a bit more care on that section and just colour the pencil line over the top of the pencil line. There we go. That's good. Right, okay. So, excuse me. Again, grey in his feet. Keep saying he. I think he's a he. I think potentially the ice bear, the polar bear, it's called ice bear, might be female, I think. I'm not 100% certain. I haven't seen the cartoon too often. I'm not a wee bears uber super fan. There we are. Bring that colour around. So again, one or two shades darker grey would be better, I think, because you want to still make it look like a panda. Okay. And then inside his mouth, we're going to go black and pink. So I'm going to do the black first. I might use a fine liner for this. If it was a little bit smaller, I'd probably do that. I quite like how the marker pen looks when you've done it. Gives you a bit more of a sharper edge. So I'm going to shade in this up to that pink tongue. Tongue or tongue, I'm not sure what you'd say. I'd say tongue, but then I say weird stuff anyway because I'm from Stoke-on-Trent. Book and Cook and Luke. A bit weird, one of them weird people from Stoke. There we go. So, and then black around this edge here. Now I'm going to probably do fine liner here because it's a little bit small for my pencil crane. It's not really fine enough. My pencil crane isn't at the end of the pencil crane. Don't really want to be making any mistakes here. Go around this line here. There we are. So I'm just using a Stabilo 0.88, a fine 0.4 nib. Very important that you get the right pens really if you can. Got these simply from Amazon, these Stabilo ones. Okay, so a little bit darker here. Go a little bit darker. What could use is possibly a pencil crayon. Oh, sorry, a pencil that's thicker, something like a like a B or. There we go. That's a better shade actually. Let's just go over the top of this pencil. There we are. Same again on this side. So I'm using a pencil now, just a B pencil there. Okay, so now I've got a choice of pinks here. You could do this donut any shade you like. Let's just do, just for a moment, let's just do his tongue. Let's just get a bit of pink in his tongue there. There we are. And remember these circles here that we give you an idea of the shape, and then I rubbed out the pencil lines around the outside edge. That's all you want to be doing really. Just colouring in this pink. Try not to see any white behind it if you can help it. There we go. And that is our We Bear Bear, not Care Bears. That's from the 80s. There we go. Fab. Now, go over these lines again. That's better. These claw marks, because I've gone straight over those. There we go. Okay, so what you could then do is you could do this pink. Just do a nice light pinkish, peachy pink under here. These are SV Faber-Castell classic colours I'm using here. A really good box of pencil crayons. Comes in a red box. I think there's 60 coloured pencils in the pack, with some shiny, sparkly pencils which I like using. So we're just going to go over here, around the outside edge. Try and go around the outside edge first and then blend in the middle. You go around the outside edge here, inside edge actually, outside edge here, blend through the middle. There we go. Again, try and shade in the same direction if you can. Always looks better finished when you've shaded in the same direction. So that's looking good now. So we've got the donut coming in here. There we go. Again, on the outside edges, just be careful you don't go over the edge. If you're really young, you might want to get a parent just to go around this edge first, and then you could just colour in the middle. So you could get somebody to do this kind of thing around the outside, and then you can just shade up to that without worrying about going over the edge. Okay, Now the top of this donut I'm going to do blue. It's inflatable, and then we're pretty much done. Here we go. Hopefully you can see that. You just go back over it and just check you've not missed any glaringly obvious bits. There we are. And then we're just going to do the blue through here now. So what you could do at this point is think about the flecks on a donut, the hundreds of thousands of sprinkles on it. So do a really light blue. I'm just wondering whether we should leave some of these. No, we're not going to. If you were going to do yellow and pinks, I'd possibly leave some. Might do this kind of thing. Yeah, this is probably a good idea. We'll do this. Okay, just so you can do some lighter colours in here. So these kind of bean shapes that you want, all, if you can, do all similar shapes and similar sizes if you can. Let's make it a little bit more awkward to shade in. Okay, I'm just going to sharpen this pencil a little bit so I don't so I find if it's not sharp, you can sometimes go over the lines even if you're being really careful. So we'll just do another one down here, and that'll do us, I think, one more like that. Okay, so again, blue first. Make sure you don't go over this peachy pink underneath. Define this if you can. There we go. So you just go around it a little bit sharper, a bit darker. That's what you're doing. Again, when you're shading in, I'd probably go from this top edge downwards. I'm conscious I'm just going to try and stay out of the way of the camera for you. So I'm not even holding the pencil as I normally hold it, because I'm just trying to show you while I'm drawing. Sometimes really annoying when people put their hand across the camera for too long. There we go. So it's coming on now. It's nearly finished now. Okay. So if you're still with me, I mean, you could just switch it off now if you wanted to and carry on yourself, but might just show you something else that I could show you, which might make it look a little bit better at the end. So we've been out in the woods today, walking the dog. Trying to get a bit of fresh air, even though we're not supposed to be anywhere near anybody else. We're not actually live in the countryside, so we can avoid people really easily. I don't know what it's like where you are. If you go out, if you're in a town or a city, it's a bit more difficult, isn't it, to avoid people. Being told to stay in and stay safe and only go out in emergency situations. So I've been a primary school teacher again this morning. Been doing phonics with my 4-year-old, ancient Egyptian writing with my 8-year-old. The 14-year-old doesn't really need any help. He's promising me he's working, but I think he's probably on FIFA a little bit too often. Good job we didn't have FIFA when I was 14. I don't think I'd have done any work at all. Okay, so nice and colourful now, this bear. Keep trying to blow off the rest of your pencil grain if you're colouring in nice and strong. pressing down a little bit, it does shave some of the pencil crayon off, so just blow it rather than wiping. If you wipe it, it'll go across the white. You don't want it across his face here. It's more difficult to rub out pencil crayon than it is pencil, so you should probably know that anyway. I'm telling you how to suck eggs now. So here we go. A little bit of green. This is just making it a little bit more awkward now because I'm having to go around these shapes because I do want to put some lighter colours in here. If this was just shading all one direction, the whole of this would be much quicker. Okay, so this is just a bit, you need a bit more patience here for this bit. Again, when you've got a chance, go straight across. If you do make a mistake and go into one of these, you can always wipe it out completely or go over the same area with a darker colour if you wanted to. So I've done this really dark. You could do it a lot lighter than this actually, if you wanted to. Again, you could choose a green or a light lilac-y purple, something like that. Yellow, maybe. Although we're going to use yellow in a minute. So this is a kind of idea. It's looking good now. Nearly finished. Probably just aim me blowing the pencil crayon away as I'm working around this bit a little bit thicker, a little bit darker. Here we go. Right, last little bit of colour, blue colour anyway. Work through there. Good. A little bit more dark around this outside edge. What I'm doing now is just spotting anything that I've missed that's white. I'm just spotting the white here. There we go. Okay, right, so straight into this now. Pink. Pink. I'm going to go pink here. I'm going to go pink down here. It's quite a bright pink, that. And then just one more pink. There we are. Now I'm going to go a little bit of a red, maybe. So I'm going to go slightly darker with this one, darker red. Again, trying to just sort out the shape. You don't want any white space behind it, if you can help it. There we are. Another red one here. So I might go around the outside edge first, like that. And then easily just shade it in. All the same uniform. So it's just showing you these, in the UK we call it hundreds and thousands sprinkles on your donut. Okay, another red one up here. And then I'm going to go yellow. So any yellow you like, really. Let's go a lightish lemony yellow. I'm going to go yellow in here. If you do go over the blue, it tends to go greenish shade. There we are. Just colour this in a little bit more. Colour this in a little bit more. Colour this pink one in a little bit more. And there, ladies and gentlemen, is Panda from webarebears. Hope you've enjoyed it. Might just do a little bit of blackish, just darker under here, just to show there's a little bit of shade underneath this donut. A little bit of shading in here, not too much, and a little bit under his armpit over here. Again, not too much there. There we are, and that is our panda from webarebears. There we go. All right, everybody, I'll see you again soon. All right, take care.